just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. 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 Can't you see? I just wanna be free.
Okay. Another episode of the Things I Wish I Knew About Money podcast. I'm your host, Camille Smith. This is a premiere. It's a long weekend. The weather nice. I felt like I wanted to be outdoors. So it's late. I apologize, folks. But I thought it would be a great day. It's my dad's birthday. So whoever's listening, make sure you guys say happy birthday to Mr. Smith. But I also wanted to have this conversation for the longest time. But I also wanted to bring on a special guest of mine, a good friend of mine, and because she wasn't able to make last week's, I wanted to do a shout out to her, Shana Wagwan.
Hi, Camille. Hi, Camille. And happy birthday, Mr. Smith.
Woo!
Oh,
Poop. Yes, I'm young. I'm young. I can't say the age. Can't say the age, but I'm still young. But it's a long weekend, and I wanted to say to you, Shayna, happy belated Mother's Day because it was an amazing episode. I knew you tried, but I just wanted to give you a shout out because you've been an amazing friend to me. I like, my little mother figure, so I appreciate you. So, blah, 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 blah,
thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. And I definitely tried to make it.
blah. No worries, no worries.
I was gonna negotiate with you on the timing. I was like, can we push it back? Can we push it back? But it was a fabulous show. I actually had the opportunity to listen in. If anybody
Mhm.
hasn't had the opportunity to kind of find the time last week to listen, I say definitely put it as a priority for this week. Add it to your playlist. Take some time. It's really worth the time.
Right. And I really want I can't wait to have a Father's Day special. I'm
Ooh.
trying to I have to choose wisely because I don't want it to be like a negative thing, right? I want it to be positive. Like I only try to do positive vibes. And especially because it's my dad's birthday, we had to pick up the fathers them. It only makes sense to have it positive as well. So pray for me.
Looking forward to hearing that one. Oh gosh.
And with the oh, man, it is so beautiful in Toronto, y'all. Yo, the gas prices have gone down, so big up that because I was
What?
cussing. Yeah, so I seen the gas at 148 the other day.
Ooh.
Scarborough too. Oh, actually, or was it Durham?
Like borderline.
I think it was both, right? So I was like, yo, this price is nice. And then someone told me in Brampton it was like
Hmm.
145.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, this is crazy. So I'm like the thought process I've been thinking is the economy has been going crazy for the last couple years, right?
Yeah.
And even with like the tax season, there's still people that haven't done their taxes. And at first I was getting annoyed, but then I spoke to some folks and they're like, "Yo, Camille, I wasn't working." I was like, "Oh, fair enough. I'll wait till you're ready to do your taxes because we're not a charity, but it's cool." But at the same time, I actually found out like even people from the CRA was losing their jobs as soon as the tax season hit, like finished. And I was like, this is kind of crazy because you still need people during once the tax season's done, right?
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
you have to assess everything that's happening and
Mhm.
you have Like some folks still have till June 15th. But then, I've been getting emails and been doing some research. And there's this thing called quiet firing or quiet.
Ah.
So there's quiet firing,
Mhm.
but then I remember like, and I've personally experienced this quiet quitting, right?
Mhm.
I don't know why. I the only thing that I've been committed to for the longest period of time is my business. No word of a lie. Everything else, or maybe
Mhm.
family too, because you have to still stick with them.
Yeah. Family is important.
But I realize I'm like, yo, there's sometimes you just get this like, do I really want this? So I've experienced that even with something that I loved. Like I was in the perfect place, but I was like, I don't know, I'm not feeling it, right? And then even when I'm trying to get like more cash flow and thinking of, okay, so I know I can manage to work a job and do the tax season because I've done it
Mhm.
before and it was crazy, crazy busy, but I had that mentality before and I was like, I think I could do it again. So I was during the tax season, I was looking for something in between, right? And I realized that what's going on? There's no jobs out here. And then I researched, and there's a thing called ghost jobs. And I'm like,
Mhm.
what is going on? So I'm not understanding how this economy is happening because like if you look at the unemployment rate, if you're looking at how many people are trying to get a job and stuff, it's frustrating because you have someone like actually trying to get something, they had to do a whole bunch of interviews and things, and then all of a sudden they're like, it's a dead end. And I know with you, Shayna, you're in that field, like HR. Obviously, we're not going to say the name, but you have this experience. So I was like, nah, Shayna, come, come, come. We must talk. I need to understand what is going on. What is happening? So I just want, I want the folks, especially for the people that are actively looking for something and they're getting frustrated. I just want
Mhm.
them to have a peace of mind in a sense, right? Let me try to
Mhm.
get some banners up. Or which one have you? I guess with the ghost jobs, because I
Mhm.
know I spoke to you about like this don't happen in Canada. So what do you think about the ghost jobs first of all?
So this is what I think about them, and I think um, whether you take my advice with a grain of salt or not, it's what company are you applying to? Because
Mm,
a lot of times we see job postings and
mhm.
it doesn't identify the company itself that we're applying to.
True.
And I think when we talk about ghost jobs or ghost job postings, these are a lot of employment agencies who are trying to build
Mm.
their pipeline for future roles,
Okay.
similar to what they've posted, which is actually very normal practice
Is it?
within the employment agency field.
Mhm. So okay. So how's that? So the employment agencies have a pipeline of, let's say, 1,000 applicants, or
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
applicants, and they only know that out of that 1,000, they really only have how many
Sometimes
jobs?
they don't have a job because as an and I'm not saying all employment agencies do this, but as you're canvassing for business
Mm-hmm.
with companies saying my services are available, are you looking for XYZ position? They're
Hmm.
also posting those same positions, building pipelines on the back end, especially
Okay.
commonly filled positions like
Hmm.
customer service.
Yes. True.
So I'm hearing a lot of like young people talking about how hard it is to find a job. And it still affects myself. I have a niece who's been looking for a job for over a
Hmm.
year.
Yeah.
And I think she still faces the same thing that all new people looking for a job is. Everybody's asking for experience. I have no experience. How do I get experience? She's recently turned 18 and she's joining the ranks of looking for a job. And right now, the best way to find a job across the board, and there's many articles written, it's about
Mhm.
word of mouth. Who do you
Mm,
know? Because if you know somebody within a company or organization you're interested in working with, it's better to reach out to them directly and
yeah.
see if they can refer you in.
True. True. You know what? That's absolutely correct because I think it goes both ways with careers and businesses is referrals, right? The only way you'd be able to get that new client is because they heard it from a different person, like a friend or a family member, and stuff like, yeah, Camille does this great job. Boom, I want to do services with her. I've actually seen, maybe it's not word of mouth per se, but I know someone that was able to get a job based on um family members, right? They and I was, even the place that I worked before the last place I worked, I never realized how many connections there was. They were like, "Oh yeah, this is my cousin and stuff," and I was like, "Oh, so how did I even get in here? Because I don't know anyone." I was like, "How did I even get in here? Because I don't have any connections with anyone." I was like, practically the only black person there, right? So it was like crazy. But yeah, word of mouth is very important. That's why I guess when it comes to like family members being in a certain field, that's why they always push their child to be like, "Hey, I have connections." Come down this path, right?
Mhm.
Um, what's another good way of getting in?
Like if you're looking for a job, another
Mhm,
thing that I hear when I speak to my peers,
mhm,
they are in talent acquisition, whether they're working for an agency or working in house with a
mhm.
company, is we have a lot of applicants who apply to roles that just don't meet the minimum requirements. And if you're constantly applying to jobs, reaching for the stars, hoping for the best, guess what? Your application is one out of hundreds.
Golly.
And out of those hundreds, there are
Mhm,
50 people who have the exact requirements, if not more, than what's required for the
mm,
job.
mm. True. So I'm gonna be devil's advocate for that one, but it also depends on the type of position. Because I always say, and I'm not telling anyone to do this. Okay, this is for educational purposes only and entertainment. I find that a cover letter is bullshit. Personally, right? You're just gonna lie. You're lying like you're lying on a dating site. Oh yeah, I'm the best person. Yep, yep, yep. Look at me. Woo. There has been an incident where I said yes, I knew how to do it, and
And
I
you
did
didn't
not
know.
know how to do
I think one of the greatest misconception people have,
it.
depending on the job, is that,
Yeah,
oh, they'll train you on site. I can give you a story
yeah,
without naming companies. I was working for this company,
yeah.
and a fellow, one of my recruiters, she was hiring for a senior level finance job.
Hmm.
And they're going through the interview process, and there was this one candidate who came in. We'll name him Sam.
Yes.
Um, Came in for the interview dressed to impress. He interviewed with members of the executive team. On paper, his resume was solid. He could
Hmm.
communicate like experience with quality. We hired this individual. After 1 week, it was evident he did not know how to do the job. Because at
And
the end of the day, when somebody gives you that ledger and says balance, make a
yeah,
statement, analyze, report, and we're hiring for a senior level job, the expectation is that you don't need trading. Maybe some guidance on what the output needs to be, the end
yeah,
result, but
yeah.
you should know the steps required. Needless to say,
And
he
this is
kind of
why.
wised up quickly,
Okay.
went on a vacation, emergency leave of absence, and then resigned the next week.
Shit. I was about to say sometimes you have to fake it till you make it.
But okay, I never said this. But then there's certain jobs, like in customer service, where you can
Correct.
definitely fake it till you make it.
Correct.
Because customer service is just, for me, it's
Mhm.
more or else having that positive attitude, that upbeat voice, that
Yeah.
enthusiasm, and
Mhm.
just being polite,
Yeah. Or even
listening. Like,
even like the one thing that I did not know how to do, but someone showed it to me. Showed me it once. I googled it before I came. I was like, okay, I think I can get this concept, and I understood it. So at the same time, there are some people that
hmm
are what's the word, coachable or
hmm
able to catch on to some skills quick
hmm
as long as it associates with their skills, right? Like that gentleman, I don't know. Maybe he thought. I mean, I don't use ledgers and trail balances sometimes, but I do the bookkeeping aspect. So when I go to the accountants, they take care of that, and I'm like, okay, cool, boom, bam, bam. But you definitely would want to do some research if that is some of your expectations, right? So and take a course if you need a refresher, right? Take a course. So I mean, folks, if you're lying on your cover letter,
Well, okay.
sometimes you
Co-
gotta fake it till you make it.
Cover letters are really becoming a thing of the past. That unless
I
it's
hope.
noted on the job description or the job posting that they require a cover letter, most professionals don't include a cover letter anymore. And if you're looking for an entry level job, a cover letter is nice, but I'll be honest, most people skim through that and they look at your resume for like key
Keyword.
skill sets,
Mhm.
tenure in company. Because if you've worked before, if
Mhm.
you're only working 3 months at a time and they're
Mm,
not contracts or justifiable, employers question that because they're looking for somebody long term in a lot of cases,
true.
someone to possibly stay with the company, grow maybe in a few years.
Mhm.
But the next thing I've noticed as well, I think a lot of people are trying to beat the system, the ATS system.
Mhm.
So they tend to put a lot of keywords, they bold them on their resume, and everyone says this is such a great thing because you're going to beat the ATS system. It's going to pull your resume.
Yeah.
You're going to have more interviews. But guess what? You're not going to be hired. I'll tell you a story that happened 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
One of my colleagues was speaking to a candidate who applied for a technical role.
Yeah.
And it was a very basic question based on the resume. You put in XYZ in your resume. Can you explain to me what this is and how you use it in your current role?
Mm.
The
Mm. Mm.
response,
Mhm.
what is that? So fake it till you make it. You still have to do your research. You still have to be able to speak upon what is written on your resume. And I'm
True.
noticing this more and more, especially as a lot of individuals in society are now leaning towards ChatGPT.
Shit.
So they're
It caught on,
constructing
folks.
these well-written resumes. But when you ask them about a project in a job that they did that they wrote on their resumes, can you explain it in more detail? Uh, um, then they either repeat verbatim what's on their resume. They can't go in depth. Like, were you actually there? Did you actually participate in it? Leaves us wondering. And you're seeing it more and more across the field.
Yeah.
It's great. Chat GPT, great tool. But then you have to come with it.
Facts. Facts. Like whatever you add to that pizzazz onto your resume, you should definitely make sure it aligns a little bit. I guess that's why it's more ex- acceptable, more ideal to go into the field that you're comfortable with. Like, I wouldn't be
Definitely.
going into like, IT or what's another over the top thing, nursing or some ish like that, like a fake diploma and all that things, and then I'm like, yep, I'm good. No, that's not how it works. And I heard as of late that the interviews are getting out of control. How many
Ooh.
interviews do you think is ideal to hire someone?
Depending on the role and seniority level.
Fair enough. Give me an example.
Because if I'm hiring a VP, it's not going to be 2 interviews.
Okay, fair. Oh,
Because you might have to
touche,
meet
touche.
multiple stakeholders within the company. There might be a
Mm,
double screening process.
yeah.
Like it might be like 5 interviews, which is not uncommon in the industry for executive level.
Mhm.
If it's an entry level position,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna work at Walmart or I'm gonna work in a call center, 1 to 2 at max. One being over the phone, a
Mhm.
quick information gathering, maybe 1 or 2 basic questions to make sure you're qualified, and then an additional interview, whether it's virtual or in person.
Mm. I was trying to think of a interview quota. This is the quota. Okay, so yes, I agree with the level and the executive level. What
But
about,
then you in between.
yeah,
So now, so now the corporate positions, that's what I call in between. So like
yeah,
entry level corporate executives.
okay,
When you're dealing with corporate interviews, I think it's case by case,
yeah,
because if you're looking more technical, maybe
mhm,
there's an assessment involved. So
okay,
maybe now instead of 2, you want to have 3 because you want to do a detailed assessment. And it's the
mm,
same thing whether you want to assess someone's financial skills because they're applying to a financial jobs, analytical skills because they're applying to an analytical job.
true, true,
But you're looking between 3 to 4, depending if it's a manager, director.
okay, damn,
Mind you, as
mm,
much as you're being interviewed by the company, it's
yeah,
happening both ways. The
true,
candidate's interviewing the company and the company's interviewing them.
mm,
When you choose the person that you want to live happily ever after with, do you have one date?
no.
So what's the difference here? Can you
Well,
know
damn.
everything about a person in 30 minutes to an hour to make you confident that this is the person you want in your life?
Now that you put it that way, I understand. Now that you put it that, damn,
So
cause
like 1 to 2 for like entry level positions, because I know it's great. You can drop off your resume and then maybe they have time. The manager at the store pulls you aside, has a quick interview, and then you can get hired,
yeah,
right?
shit,
1 to 2 for entry
shit.
level. For corporate, it's like 2 to 4, depending on the title seniority. Executives, I think you should expect 5 or more, to be honest. If you want that VP title, you want to be a CEO, they don't really just interview you once and you got the job, right?
Facts, facts. Yo, the way that you said the analogy, I'm thinking of it.
You're thinking about all those first dates. You're like, yep, not the one, not the one.
So that makes sense. You know what? Okay, so for the folks that have been going to plenty of interviews, it sucks. It sucks. But
Oh,
honestly,
it does.
if but if you really want to go up the ladder and stuff, or have like a solid job, then fuck, I guess 3 to 4 is legit, cuz
Listen, listen. It is what it is, and it's also because of the current economy.
yeah.
10 years ago, companies could hire a lot more staff,
Mhm.
be a little bit bloated with middle managers.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of companies are running very lean. So when a job posting comes open,
Mhm.
they want somebody that can do 2, 3 different things at once.
Crazy.
Everybody wants that purple unicorn leopard, right?
Crazy. Crazy.
So when you have a position like that that's open because your budget only says that you have one headcount for the first 2 quarters, are you going to give it to the first person that you meet? No.
But what if I feel that great connection with them in that interview?
My experience always tells me a hiring manager always wants to have a minimum of 2 top candidates before they move on to final rounds.
Okay,
A minimum of two. Because what if you propose to one with your ring and they decline? That's
true.
all I'm saying.
Oh shucks. But then, do we explain what ghost jobs are?
Did you put the posting? You didn't put the
I
message
didn't.
up on what they are.
No, no, no. Sorry, folks. So here, let me, because this is some gems that we're finding. We're getting the secrets, y'all. You have to be the best of the best to get that last interview, and get the, I guess, get the ring or
Get
the
the ring.
pedestal.
But what I say to people who are actively looking for jobs,
Hmm.
don't only go by what the recruiter or what the hiring manager is saying to you. Do your own research.
Mm.
Google is a
Okay.
great tool. Find out more about the company.
True.
Look for any type of media report about the company.
Yeah. What about what's the site where you can look at the, what is it, Glassdoor?
Glassdoor. I say yes, not just
Mhm.
Glassdoor. You can go on almost any job board site has like a
Job
review
board.
part where people can review the company. I say for that, yes, but it's hard to find people who made a post that actually have to do with your department or what you're doing in the job.
Mhm.
And as we know, keyboard
People be
warriors will
lying.
always be keyboard warriors. But you got to make a decision that's right for yourself.
Facts.
So definitely look into the ratings, look into the feedback, gather everything together, and then you can make a logical decision and
Mhm.
come prepared with questions. There's
Mm. Mm.
nothing a recruiter or hiring manager loves more than someone who has done their research and has questions.
What's the best question
Ooh.
um that let's help out the folks a little bit. What's the best
Hmm.
question that they could ask?
Hmm. I'm thinking off the top of my head
Yeah.
now. Um,
Inside scoop, y'all.
I don't know if the best questions, but like some of the
Ideal.
commonly questions that I get,
Mhm.
um, they want to know like, oh, you've been at the company for X amount of years. What
Mm.
makes you stay there? What is it
Mm.
about the company that makes you interested or enthusiastic in
Mhm.
building a long-term career here? I
Yeah.
love that question because one, I get to talk about the company itself, the growth, the opportunities, the selling points,
Yeah.
and I think sometimes when I have that candid conversation with the candidates that I speak to, it's
Mhm.
all about giving them that genuine response,
True.
not the scripted response. How I truly
Mhm.
feel about the company and why I'm truly still with the company. Um, my next type of questions that I love to hear
Mhm.
is when someone picks up on a specific responsibility
Mm.
in a job posting
Yes.
and they want to dig deeper to kind of follow understand like what is the
The
exact day-to-day
expectation.
responsibility of the jobs, what will I be exposed to, what is the expectation that you guys have for my
Mm.
first 3 months of employment,
Okay.
because this is
Nice.
somebody who's trying to put themselves in the shoes of who's hired. They're more invested in the position itself.
Yeah.
This question might not be best for every job, because
Mm.
maybe if I'm working customer service, maybe I don't want to know what the next 3 months is. But if I'm looking for a corporate job, asking questions about the team itself. How many
Mhm.
people are in the team? What is the
Okay.
team's breakdown? Because there's a difference working in
Mhm.
a small team of three or working in a medium sized or large team of 15 or 30.
Yeah. Yeah, because you want to know what the workload is overall. I like that question, like asking what the expectations are with the responsibilities. Because sometimes people are like, well, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you're like, mm,
Um,
someone's bullshitting, right? And that's why the 3 months. Now this can relate with relationships. Holy shucks! That's why you
you're
know,
still on the relationship piece. It all makes sense. I know that one all makes sense. Now everything makes sense, right?
because like after that 3 months mark, you'll be able to get a better understanding of the job because we're talking about the job or the career
Well,
and
listen,
seeing.
even those ghost posting, that's somebody that's looking to play the field. They're gathering potential, like, you know? Ah, yeah.
Oh,
Laughing at my own
yo,
foolishness.
you know what? That's how we're gonna relate it. Hold on. That is true because the ghost jobs. I'm gonna read based on what I've found. Um, is roles that companies post but aren't actively filling or already reserved for internal hires. And experts say that these are hundreds of there are hundreds of them online, and people actually spend time and effort applying for these jobs and often meet silence, which is frustrating. I, there was a time where I was like
Yeah.
literally I was like this is this is depressing. Like if you're actually like I would advise folks if you're looking for something, do
Hmm.
it while you have something still cuz it's actually
Yes.
really frustrating and overwhelming when you're like in between and you're like I got to pay these bills, got to pay that
Yeah.
gas and stuff,
Yeah.
right? So my heart goes out for the folks that are like looking, actively looking, and not able to find something right now. And I guess my pride and ego wouldn't doesn't want to say fully just find anything,
No. No.
but sometimes something's got to give, right? So I'm on the fence with that, right?
Find anything. Okay. Okay. I just lost my job. I have bills to pay. I've been
Mhm.
looking for a job now for 3 months
Mhm.
and my backing against the wall. I need income fast.
Mhm.
Maybe then you'd grab a job.
Mhm.
But this is what I say about this because I think at one time or another,
Mhm.
most of us, maybe not all of us, have been in that situation, right? Where you just needed a job to pay the bills.
Mm.
I'm a firm believer that those jobs never go on your resume. And when you go into the interview, those jobs, any experience that you pull from it, any story you have that you'll share for examples cannot come out your mouth.
Mm.
Because one of the things that I see, especially with young people who are applying for jobs, they're good at taking out those type of jobs out of their resume. I
Yeah.
worked here for 2 weeks. It didn't work out. I'm not going to write it on my resume. But during the interview, they forgot that they didn't write it on their resume. And then they start to talk
Mm.
about it. And the
Mm.
hiring manager is like,
Huh?
Gap? When did you work at the Gap?
Shit.
And
Facts. Fact. Nope.
yeah,
That.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's.
yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with taking something off your resume. But if you're going, especially when you're young in your job search in your early 20s, if you
Yeah.
take it off, don't mention it.
Boom. That. That's simple. That's simple math. Like damn. That makes me think. What about LinkedIn?
What about?
So with LinkedIn, so anyone doesn't know LinkedIn is like the professional's Facebook. where you get to see what credentials folks have. So when it comes to when you're looking for a job, you want to make sure your profile sweet up, you know? So you can't have those stupid things on like you have on Facebook and stuff where you get fired. Like now, actually, social media right now is sometimes the reason why people get fired, which is crazy. But I mean, some things are better left in the group chat and off of
Ooh, I
social
like
media,
that. I like that saying. Some things are better off left in the group chat.
right? And not to be on something, you know? So I be mindful about what you put on social media or how you show your face on social media. It's another conversation. But that LinkedIn, I find maybe I've made this mistake. Every position I've had is on LinkedIn.
Hmm. Ah, clean it up.
Okay.
Like the greatest thing about LinkedIn is that you can always go in and edit it, and like I won't go into details about it, but
Yeah.
you can tell to some degree when someone slightly edits their account. But that's another episode as well.
Huh?
Um,
No, 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 no. Rewind. What?
because even on LinkedIn, just like a resume, and that's what I think LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is just your resume. You're going to
Mm,
post your jobs. You can write some bullet points about your responsibilities in the job. You can put your education in the job, and you
yeah.
can put in dates of
Mm,
employment, dates of education,
okay.
or you can choose to eliminate those dates.
Got it. Got it. Question for
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Uh, would okay, you see how they want things written on your resume? Should it be written like that on LinkedIn?
So LinkedIn now has a new feature where you can actually upload your resume.
Mm,
So I think it's a great device because LinkedIn is now trying to build a pool of candidates.
yeah,
So instead of applying to anonymous jobs where people are going to hold on to your resumes, you can simply just upload them on LinkedIn.
and then
And now
people can.
employers who have LinkedIn accounts are able to go through the resume database and pull top
Mm,
candidates that way.
okay, okay, true, true, true,
But me
true.
personally,
Uh-huh.
I prefer a LinkedIn, was it a bio? Is that what you call it? I don't even remember what it's
Yeah.
called. Profile. A
pro-
LinkedIn profile that does have some of those bullet points.
Okay, so
Because a
bullet point.
title is not enough. Because an
Mm,
analyst is an analyst is an analyst is an analyst is different every company, different
yeah,
types of analysts, different types of software or tools used. So a little bit more detail is always better, but you
yeah.
don't have to tailor it exactly to your resume.
Okay. Or but it's advisable to kind of tweak it to the keywords that are normally used. And also, what about the people them that it's summertime? I'm hearing that summertime it's very, 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 very difficult. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I
I
said.
didn't hear anything. Um, during the summertime, are you saying like during the summertime it's difficult to find a job?
Yeah, there's an article or something I heard that not business summer jobs like it's difficult for the teens to first year, second year college university students to be able to find something, even an intern. Which intern type of things, I'm very I don't like the terminology of an intern because
Why?
I think no matter what, someone needs to get paid while doing
Oh,
intern. I'm just saying.
which interns are not being paid?
What are you talking about?
I I haven't met an intern that doesn't get paid since
Uh,
like the early 2000s when they were giving out stipends.
True. Maybe that's what I'm thinking back of
Like,
those
maybe
days.
there's still one or two companies who do it, but
Yeah.
now when there's, like, all this push, media and communication
Mm-hmm.
about equal wages and minimum
True.
wage and cost of living and all this stuff coming out, a
Yeah.
lot of employers are staying away from that. Maybe an intern, definitely intern will not make as much as a full-time employee per hour, but they
Yeah.
are gonna get minimum wage or higher,
Okay.
and I think a good internship is an
Mm-hmm.
internship where you get to do actual hands-on work,
Mm.
where during your 3, 4, 6 months with the company,
Yeah.
the work that you're producing is
Uh-huh.
actually a part of the company. Whether it's a code in a software, whether it's your contribution to an advertisement, whether it is something you plugged into a PowerPoint that now is in an executive presentation,
And
this is
that looks good.
valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a valuable internship, something you can actually put on your resume where you've had this real life work experience. And if
That's
you're not getting that, and this is like the devil's wear Prada and you're grabbing coffee, you're probably doing your internship with the wrong type of company.
facts. 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 So, folks with the interns, make sure they get that experience. We don't want interns to be someone's biatch. Get your own coffee, damn it.
Yeah, with
Oh
you.
shit. Sorry. But no, I like what you said before, like with the LinkedIn. That's a gem. So folks, and the interview, like omit omit the things that were, like tutus. Like we go back to dating. We don't want to talk about that one night thing you had and what happened and stuff. We don't want to talk about that. Don't talk about that until later. I didn't even realize how it could relate. Holy shucks. Also, what was it? Quiet quitting. So quiet quitting
Ah,
is quiet kid quitting. When all of a sudden you want to put in the less like you literally giving the minimum effort in the job just to get that paycheck.
yeah,
That
and
is
it's
quiet
a reality.
quitting.
It it's definitely a reality, and I think it's something that a lot of companies were facing
Yeah.
during the tail end of the pandemic when employees started to come back to work. Like
Mm,
employees that were once overly productive have
yeah.
slowed down.
Mm,
And I'm not saying you need to do your job plus Susan's job plus Peter's job.
mm-hmm.
I'm saying I'm talking about your specific job and your specific job responsibilities.
Facts.
So I can see both sides of it. So I can see the employer side where I used to have this very productive employee.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand the employee side that might be a little bit frustrated with coming into the office, feeling that they were productive during the pandemic, and now they're in the office. Why should I do more than just my regular 9 to 5?
I don't blame them. And now that you say it like that, I don't think I have quite quit because I always, do as much, do the most because I'm a pushover and stuff. But at the same time, you do get that feeling when you're like, wow, something that I thought I loved. Um, there's something happening that's annoying. Or I even remember like previously, I started off,
Mhm.
got the contract. Someone started
Mhm.
after me,
Mhm.
different shade.
Mhm.
We were trying to compete
Mhm.
um, with the
Did
same
you create the
position.
competition?
No, no, because I was just doing my thing. I was like, oh, this is what. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, Camille, you should apply for this because you've been here for this long. Da, 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 da. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, I will. But at the thought process was, regardless, I would have gotten it because I came first and that was the position. And Someone else got over me. And I was like, hmm, that's interesting. You know what?
I don't think that's quiet quitting. I don't think.
No, no, no,
Okay,
because
continue.
afterwards,
I think we're gonna get
afterwards,
there. Oh, okay.
afterwards, I was like,
Okay.
y'all ain't getting this hard shit from me. I'll do what I have to do,
Yep.
but in my head, I'm ready to leave. Like I always one foot in, one foot out, regardless. Like if you tell me like deuces, I'll be like, okay, didn't want to be here anyways, punk ass.
But I think,
Respectfully.
okay, I think quiet quitting has like an underlining issue attached to it. I think a
Hmm.
part of that is like poor management,
Mm,
lack of company culture.
mm,
Because even though, great example, you
yeah.
applied for an internal opportunity for growth,
Mhm.
you were declined, so they didn't choose you. But
Mhm.
then what happened next? What was the communication to you from your manager or the company itself?
I can't even remember, but I can't talk about it online. But there
Fair
is
enough.
reasons why that person may have gotten that position over
But
me.
that's not what they should have communicated to you because it's not about the other person, it's about you. So
Mhm.
like when your employees apply for internal opportunities and they're
Yeah.
not successful, what
Mhm.
is the communication from their direct manager? There should be this consistent feedback where
Mhm.
it's like constructive
Yeah.
on how they can improve themselves for the next opportunity or what was missing and the reason why they didn't get that next step.
Mhm.
I'm definitely big on the internal communication because these are already your employees.
Yeah.
You can
And when
add
here's the
it
kicker.
on to their development.
Here's the
It's
kicker.
different when it's external because now you got to be careful what you say
True. True.
because everybody likes to. But internal, it's a little bit different. Now you have an employee that you know is going to be a little bit psychologically affected because we're all humans. It's
Yeah.
okay to feel disappointed.
Mm.
But then what does you do as a manager? What does the company do as a whole to maintain this intellectual property? And that's
And
what's important. And I think that's why quiet quitting is more rampant in some companies than other companies.
yeah.
Because if there's other perks to the company has a good culture, you feel good to come to work, you're going to
Mm.
contribute.
True. No matter what. And here's the kicker.
Exactly.
I was normally the substitute when that person wasn't there.
Yeah. I,
And I was like,
sounds like somebody got
yeah.
promoted, but you were still doing the job. Um, yeah.
but
Yeah.
but it is what it is. It is what it is.
We live and we learn.
Exactly.
Sometimes you don't quiet quit, you just quit. Um, and move on.
And then there's the other one. Have I experienced
Okay.
this? Quiet firing?
Okay.
I found it. I found it. Is
Okay.
quiet
Definition.
firing legal in Canada? The short answer is no.
Mhm.
Quiet firing, also known as constructive dismissal, is a term used to describe a situation where an employer creates an untenable, tenable, yes, work environment that the company, that the employee feels compelled to resign. I feel like, damn, have I experienced that too? Perhaps based on feelings, but it's also probably like a borderline of I'm just over this, right?
So is it quiet firing or is it like quiet quitting? Because if you're over it, then or is it
There's a gray line, right? Because like
fair
if
enough?
you start seeing like the disrespect or
Mhm.
like you said, poor management and stuff, you're like,
Mhm.
yo, I'm out this
Can't
bitch.
talk to me. Can't talk to me. Um, I think okay. The quiet firing.
Hmm.
It hurts me to say this, but I do think it's also a result of poor management.
Okay.
Because sometimes as a manager, you
Mhm.
might have an employee who is not performing, and
Mhm.
you've done the coaching sessions, you've done the speaking to them, and you just kind of give it up because you feel like you're talking and nothing's happening.
Mm.
And not every company is quick to fire because you might be low performing overall, but then there's times where you're meeting your targets. There's
See.
times when you're not, or tenure. You've been with the company for a long period of time. Maybe there's a collective agreement that says I can't fire you because of your seniority, X, Y, Z. The reasons are beyond. So there's a breakdown in communication. There's
Mm.
this, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, you've started to isolate that employee.
Yes.
You're not
Okay.
you stop giving them coaching, you stop giving them feedback. You're basically not pushing the employees to achieve.
Mhm.
You're making the environment kind of uncomfortable. Maybe you're micromanaging. CC me in all your emails. I want to see a report of what you've done for the day. What are
Mhm.
you doing? Constant checkups to make
Mm.
the workplace environment just that much that much more awkward. That it's like, what am I doing here? I want to quit.
I've seen that happen. And not even, yeah, I've seen it happen. I thought there was a person that I was working with. I was like, damn, they gonna leave. Like they're ready to boogie, but the universe was on their side, and that's another story I'll tell off. The universe was on their side, and they were able to adjust the boss
Hmm.
that would work well with them. So like the boss, it was just the boss didn't align with the person, so they had to switch, and it worked out. They were less stressful than things. Trust me on that. Lord. Um so technically speaking, for the folks that are experiencing this, what do you think is the best like strategy for them?
From the employee perspective, like
Mm,
if you feel like your employer is trying to quietly quit you out,
at this time right now that we're
two
in.
options, two
Mm,
options, two options. You can choose door A or whatever direction we're going. You could choose door A, and you could
mhm,
choose to just, like you said, look for a job while you're still employed and
mm.
leave. Because if it's a toxic work environment, is it going to get better? Door number two is that you can be very direct and bring this up, whether you're bringing it up to your direct manager or bringing it up with HR. But I know me, I'm a door one type of person. You don't need to tell me more than once. Like
Yeah.
relationships, you don't got to tell me more than once. You don't want me. I'm not trying to save you.
Oh man. Oh man. I mean, yeah, yeah. See, it goes back. Like even the quiet firing, if you're in a toxic relationship, and we're not going to go talk about what we've seen on social media as
No
of late, but sometimes it's tricky to leave, especially when you have
responsibilities.
responsibilities.
You have. I understand. Listen, a large majority of Canadians
Hold on 2 seconds. So as Shayna comes back, because I think she froze. I like the options she provided. There is option A, skedaddle, or option two, voice your opinion and see how you can compromise. Because sometimes maybe people don't know what is happening, um, and they just need to be aware of their things. Hold on, I'll wait for her to fix up. Ah, boom, there you're back. Yay! Woo! Okay, you're back.
yeah,
So basically, sometimes you gotta know. Sometimes the employer doesn't know how they're treating folks. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but being able to stand your ground, stand on business, and just be able to communicate how you feel at the job. And I guess there's always like that feedback, like, oh, how do you feel about the position, Ray Tay Tay? Um, but as you were saying before, boom, bam, bam. I don't remember what you said, so you had to repeat it because you froze.
Ah,
Like,
kind of funny. I don't remember where I was in the conversation, but I say you bring it up because I think
mm,
you made a good point. Sometimes you have managers that might not necessarily have a lot of people experience, so they
mm,
don't understand what they're doing.
yeah. Or when some
And
people dash your things
sometimes
on the floor.
you know what you have contributed. You know
Yeah.
you're not meeting your KPIs. You know
Mm,
you haven't been doing for X amount of time what you're supposed to be doing.
facts.
Because sometimes it's not always our manager's fault.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's us unwilling to look ourselves in the mirror because
Yeah,
maybe we're a little bit exhausted. Eh?
that's true. Sometimes self-awareness is key,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to sometimes like feel like the victim, but you
Mm-hmm.
also want to know what part you played. Like I know every single job that I've had, or
Mm-hmm.
even clients that I've dealt with, I knew where I felt that
We could
I'm
do better.
human.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just yesterday, someone was like, "Ah, Camille." I was like, "Shush, shut up,
Shush.
y'all. We're not gonna talk about that time." But it is what it is. You just know that you got to do better for the next one, right? And I'm. Am I concerned about the economy right now? A little bit,
You should be.
because
I
I've,
think we all should be.
yeah, like even Alberta, I hear having issues, and Alberta's, their cost of living is a little bit better than Ontario, but like the fact that I know folks that are making good money and they were let go
Mm-hmm.
for decisions I'm not even aware about, but I'm like, damn, like we have to be ready for these a recession. If it goes back to 2008, like I've been saying all this time, have a safety net. Have a safety net, because you
Yeah.
never know, right? Even though, be ready for that time when shit hits the fan, because
Agreed.
baby, when
I 100% agree. Look, I tie the economy to gas prices. Maybe I shouldn't, but we're
mm,
celebrating 148, where a year, even 2 years ago,
it was like,
148 would have made us cry.
so true, so true.
So what happens when you can't afford the gas no more? What happens where we're at 2.5?
Looks like a lot of people go be taking gas. I have my gas container. I'm just joking. Entertainment purposes only.
We could do a whole episode about lifestyle and incomes and how to break the cycle of uh,
That's
paycheck to paycheck life. Like, wow.
fam, fam. But I mean, like for the folks that are looking for a job. Oh yeah, we gave tips. So
Hmm.
door A, door B. Um, just you're never too old to learn something new, and you want to get in the trend of what the economy is going through. I
Ooh.
don't know how AI is going to be in 5 years from now, but I seen yo, I seen an AI having a conversation like it was their the person's significant other. I
Oh.
even seen one where it was like a nurse like, oh, did you take your meds, and all that stuff. I don't think nurses will be replaced,
Not
because that will
completely,
be,
but
yeah, will
some
be
roles
replaced.
will just be reduced. Like the amount of people required in the role will be reduced.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But
like for instance, maybe not an ER nurse, but definitely a bedside nurse. Like your examples, did you take
hmm
your medication?
hmm
Can I get you some water? Like, here's a warm blanket.
in the hospital.
Yeah. When you have restaurants right now that are fully AI generated, and even
Fair.
before the word AI was around, there were
Yeah.
restaurants that were fully robotic, because that's the word
True.
we used to call it, where
True.
from the time that you stepped through the door, your hostess was a robot. Your
Yeah.
waiter, whether it's a robot or a tablet that you type it in, and then a
True.
machine would bring
I'm
the food
like,
to you,
oh, cool. It's so cool. I saw
right?
that at Denny's. True. 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 S- So, folks that are in certain industries, please be mindful. And I will say it politely. Be mindful of the diploma and degrees that you want to get. Some of them are going to be a waste. Please be mindful. I said what I
I
said.
don't listen. I don't know. It's the funny thing. The funny thing is, in like the late '90s, when the internet started booming, and it
Mm,
became more like in every household or almost every household, there was
yeah.
a big debate about print ad. That print ad would disappear so
Mm,
fast. It has reduced,
yes.
definitely, but it
Yes.
hasn't 100%.
Gone.
And
That's
I
true.
think it's going to be the same thing for a lot of these industries when we talk about employment. It's not that anything will disappear, it's that the need for it will go down. So what's one required 1,000 people to do the job,
Hmm.
now they only need 100 people,
Facts.
which is just going to make it more competitive, the job market overall. So start talking to your auntie and your uncle and your cousins, because you don't know
Mm-hmm.
when you're going to need them to get yourself into the place they're working at,
That's true. Yeah,
or you don't know
that
who they know who's currently hiring.
it goes back to that word of mouth is really important, and yeah, word of mouth is the best way. Um,
Because I'll give you an example.
upskill.
Personally,
Yeah.
a year ago, I think it's been a year ago, a girlfriend of mine, she called me and we were just talking.
Mm,
She has her own business, how she usually makes money, but
mm-hmm,
she came in a situation where she needed a job.
mm,
And it's funny, just out of casual conversation, she's like, Shayna, I've been looking for a job, da 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 da. And I was like, whoa, because she's telling me her woes. I've been looking for a job for 2 to 4 weeks, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like,
mm,
hey, what type of job? Oh, like anything. I'm like, she's like, oh, but I have the kids. I'm like, okay, work from home. She's like, yeah. I'm like, come with me. I have an opportunity. But it just
nice.
goes to say, if your mouth is shut, how will the people around you know that you're looking for a job, an opportunity, or what you're looking for? Because
You know what I'm
she
about to
didn't have to be
type.
in the trenches for 2 to 4 weeks. If she spoke up, I would have been like, if it's not something that I know personally, maybe it's a job that I know somebody else has available, right?
Mm-hmm. Closed mouth don't get fed.
Exactly. It's no difference than you gave the example of like, if I want a plumber, if I want a contractor, if I want somebody else, I'm gonna go ask my friends and family, or maybe I
Exactly.
post it online. I need I need someone. Do you know anyone?
It's crazy that I don't know a plumber though.
Hmm.
I know.
I know a
Elec-
plumber. Actually, I do know a plumber.
So how you? I know
I just
HVAC, electrician. Can't think of anyone else, but I don't know a plumber. So, folks, if you're out there,
and you're a
I
plumber.
let me know. I told you the other day. I actually want to make a list of resources of people that I know, so whenever someone asks me, I'm able to provide that information.
Are you also
Because
doing it by city, Yellow Pages?
I do that. No,
Are you probably
you get what you get. You get what you get. You get who I have. Like what? Like I like to be my close circle or my circle of friends, whether acquaintance, friends, da 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 da, and all that stuff. If I know someone, boom, I'm gonna send it to you. If I
Got it.
don't,
Got it.
I search. Like, you look how many times I forward shit in
Yeah.
group chats because I'm like, well, someone's gonna know. Someone has to
True,
know.
true. I saw that one you sent, was it last week or was it this week, about detailing. Some people said it was expensive. I'm like, I saw triple that price. I've literally saw triple that price, so I'm kind of interesting.
That's
I'm
why I
curious.
said my favorite emoji. I was like, oh, I mean, I get it, but like, it is students that are
Mhm.
doing the detailing. So, and I always represent
Which
them.
I'm okay with as well because everybody needs an opportunity. I
Mhm.
hired a student when I needed to uh, put down hardwood in my basement.
Ooh,
Someone who
smart.
was, well, I don't think he was a student. I think he was in his early 20s, but
Yeah.
just started his business.
Don't call this thing.
Well, I don't think he's in school. That's why I don't want to call him a student. But
Yeah,
in
yeah,
his early 20s, like
yeah.
family oriented, and you
Hmm.
know what? Why not?
True. I mean, other races do it, so
Oh yeah, that too.
I
I didn't want to say that
rather.
part, but that too. Gotta
I mean,
support. You gotta support. Like if I have the option or the opportunity to support, I do.
mhm,
It's my
same.
first pick. But at the end of the day, a good job is a good job. A good worker is a good worker. A fair price
That
is a fair price.
that's true. That's why I'll go based on my friends first,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it could be any race. I don't care as long as you're my friend and I know you do it.
Mhm.
Of course, I'm going to support you, right? And nothing teases me more. And this is like, if I know I have the resource
Yeah.
and someone close to me decides to go like whatever, I'm like, why'd you go there when you knew I had someone? And then you pay the. Granted, the only reason
Oh.
why I was okay was because of the skin color. Is I was like,
Oh.
okay,
Oh.
cool.
I don't pay for that stuff. That's why. That's like I'd be at your door, but I don't pay for that stuff. So
No, no, but I always pay, no matter what. I don't do like no batter, like, oh, Camille, like, I'll do this for you if you do that for me. No, I'll
oh,
pay you.
you don't do
No,
bartering?
I don't.
Interesting.
I don't believe in it
Interesting. Interesting.
because we have to pay.
Are
Like,
you we're going so off topic.
it's okay.
Are you into Facebook Marketplace?
I want to say no. And the
Okay.
only reason why I'm chuckling is because I've seen someone on it every day and I'm like, what is happening? Are you okay? But it's actually really cool.
It's the place. That's what I'm learning. I'm so old and not in line with what's going
I know,
on.
because that
Because I
time.
threw away Facebook years ago. Like this is just for the random people.
But you remember what you we did the like couple months ago when you could have just put things on there?
Yes, I wanted to, but
There-
at that time I couldn't get any. I should have came to you first because I had that same idea back in like December, but
Yeah,
December was so rackety with everybody.
fair, fair, fair.
Because if
And
not, trust me, money could have been made, but donations had to happen and things had to go in the garbage. So it
hey,
go. So it go.
hey, I still am enjoying some of the purses. I haven't used them yet, or but whoever wants. Actually, my theory is, if it's friends
Hmm.
items, you'll get for free. I'll donate. If I put it on
Yeah,
Facebook Marketplace, is
yeah,
because I've missed out the opportunity of donating it, and I'm just gonna sell it. Boom. So I know this is going
sure.
off topic, guys, but if you do use Facebook Marketplace, tell me. Or if you have Etsy and all the stuff, actually, yeah. If you have things, I actually want to have a resource list. If you have things to get away or want to promote, message me, and I will promote. Boom, or
Got
I'll
it.
make that list.
Got
Boom, bam,
it.
bam. And before we head out, because I
Hmm.
know we're just gonna have an
We're gonna yeah, we're
offline
gonna
talk.
go like and other topics that need to be discussed, but on a later date. But yeah,
Because you did say something where it reminded me of the big fives.
yeah.
swindling people.
Oh, it
And
wasn't the big five. It was TD.
oh,
Wait,
is
what
this
do you mean? Oh, I think I'm talking about something else with TD recently in the
no,
headline.
I know
Yeah.
that would
Anyways,
upset me. I'm gonna talk about that another
I
time.
think
That
you
actually
should.
upset
I
me.
think you should. Now that that's just
Hey!
settled. So, all
It's true.
right,
Okay,
all
fine.
right,
So,
all right.
so at the end of the day, when it comes to um you being in HR, what would you advise folks to do? We'll sign off with you because I don't I can only speak of a person that just says I'm done with this mentally. If I mentally am done with a job,
Yeah.
I will do what I have to do, but I'm just like late for work, everything. I'll bust my ass to get there, and I will if I'm late 5 minutes. I will wait.
Stay back 5 minutes.
Boom. I
Oh,
actually
even that is gone in the workplace. It's so funny.
why? Wait, what? Well, okay.
No, this I'm late 5 minutes. I'll make up 5 minutes. I think that is a previous generation. Now it's not like that. I'm late 5 minutes. I'm gonna still leave at the same time.
No, that's where I think that's something my parents taught me. If stay. I don't know something about it. I'm like, no, I fucked up,
Hmm.
so I will.
Accountability. I
Yeah,
understand. I
is that the
understand.
word? Oh my god! So I do have accountability. Shit.
Well, I call it
Fucking right.
accountability and respect, right? Because regardless if you're being paid, like you make up the time that you lost. But okay, advice.
Yes.
First one,
Mm,
the ghost posting.
yes.
My advice is if you're looking to apply to a specific company, go to their website. Most companies post all their open jobs on their website. This
Mm,
might help with the ghost posting you're noticing or you're facing, but at the end of the day, a good resume will always garner and attract attention. In addition to this, practice your interview skills. Google's
mm,
magnificent. Almost every single job question that you would face during an interview, regardless of the position, because you could type in questions for X position and start practicing your answers to questions.
mm,
In regards to quiet quitting, if you're already behaving like you're quiet quitting, that means this job isn't for you any longer. Revamp your resume, start looking for something new because
mm,
regardless, you spend most of your waking hours at work, whether you're online, whether you're face to face. You want to work in a place that is positive to your mental health at the end of the day. And we talk about it so much, how important our mental health is. And
mhm,
it also correlates to our job, you guys. So, regardless of your career, regardless of your path, find the company that best suits and encourages a healthy mental health. And then the last one, firing.
Woo!
To all the managers, supervisors out there, take some time and reflect and remember to give feedback to your employees. They say if you were able to provide some type of feedback every 4 weeks to your employees, they will perform better. People desire feedback. They want to know whether they're doing well, whether they need to improve. People want to know. And I
Yep.
don't think you wait for the annual evaluation to spring it on them that, hey, you're getting a 10 cents raise. I think you intervene in between and early so that people have a chance to acknowledge and
Mhm.
to fix or correct so that when we get to the evaluation, there's not a back and forth conversation where people feel overlooked or unappreciated.
Facts. Wow. Boom, bam, bam. Thank you. Wow, Shayna. Look at you coming true on the 180th episode. I almost forgot. But it's I think it's those are great advice that you provided because I would just hate for the folks that are overwhelmed and not knowing which path to take, and they're like, "Well, what to do now?" And mental health, especially this month. I tried, folks, to have something about mental health, but I think this is a great one too because your career business is what you will be involved with most of your life. So you
Amen.
definitely want to um, have something that gives you positive feedback and
Mhm.
able you're happy about going to the job every day or most of the day and stuff. And like not having like not being miserable when you wake up. When you see that you do this, when you get out the bed,
Ah, Mondays.
that's when you have to like reevaluate what's going on. I think overall in your life, if you
Yeah.
feel like, I'm not gonna lie, there's been some days where I'm like, wow, fun this, right? But I really want folks are having anxiety, overwhelmed, just be mindful, just find that passion that you have when it comes to the business or the career that you have, and much love, you know. It is May 2 4. It's a long weekend. We have one extra day. Woo, woo. And the weather's nice. I don't know if y'all see it, but it is bright outside. I'm gonna go back outside as we chat. But yeah. Anything else, Shana?
I think that's it without going off topic and start talking about other things.
I know. Take it.
Camille, I want to thank you so much for inviting me back on your show. I know it's been
Anytime,
a
sis.
while since I've last been able to participate, but I
Mm,
see what you're doing and I don't want you to stop. It's phenomenal. It's great education, a lot of knowledge sharing, and I think people need to reach out to you more because these videos,
hmm
or whether you're listening to the audio version, are a small tidbit of the knowledge that you have and how you can contribute and really shape someone's career, whether it's in their small business or whether it's through their financial goals.
Yeah, I appreciate that, sis. Cause there's times I'm like, ah. So I honestly appreciate that. This is the reason why I have this podcast, right? To give as much knowledge as possible to folks. So make sure like, comment, subscribe. It's over there. I can't click over there, but you get it. And just tell a friend to tell a friend. And if anyone's looking for a job, holler at Shayna. Actually,
Wait,
yes.
hold up,
Wait.
hold up. Like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Exactly. And
Because
share.
the sharing is what's going to really push other people to see the content and to really come on board with what you're doing here, not only for
Mm,
your community, but for everyone. So, congratulations, Camille.
thank you, sis. And on that, on that note, folks, make sure you tell a friend that you love them, appreciate them, and all them good things, or just smile at someone, a stranger. Smile at them. Don't stalk them, because you know how these people be these days. Sorry, I it's the shows I've been watching these days. All right, folks. Peace and love. Much love. Ah.
I just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. I just wanna be free. I just wanna be free.